about definite articles and what they mean in Spanish. You guys have already seen them. It's your el, la, los, and las, but people often get confused on the reasons to use each one. So all four mean the. That's the fantastic thing. What I want you guys to do is, on the back of the note sheet that you were handed, at the bottom part, you're going to write this information that I have on the board, okay? So in Spanish, all things are either masculine or feminine. It does not mean that the thing is a guy or a girl. Sometimes it can if you're talking about people, but for instance, la computadora is a feminine word, but the computer is not a girl, it's just a feminine word. Typically, masculine things end in O and feminine things end in A. Sometimes that's not the case, but typically you can fall back on that. So what I want you guys to do is to draw this chart in your notes. So go ahead and draw a chart that has 3 rows and 3 columns. You're going to write in it masculine and feminine, and this column is going to be for singular and the last column for plural. Now in Spanish, when things are masculine and singular, like we said, they typically end in O, like perro for dog. So if it's one dog, okay, it's masculine word, it's singular, you're going to say el perro. But if it's more than one dog, if they're perros, then you have to make sure that you use the plural form of the, and you'll say los perros. We don't have to do that in English, but in Spanish, they always have to match. Then the same thing for feminine words. Feminine words such as amiga. If I have one friend, the friend, it'd be la amiga, because it's one. But once I have more than one friend, amigas that I'm talking about, I'm going to use las. Okay? And remember that in Spanish, okay, in case you forget, to make things plural, you do one of two things. Either you add S to things that end in vowels, and you're going to add ES to the ends of words that end in consonants. For example, the word amiga, like we used above, you would add S2 to make it plural. But something like papel, which you guys have heard in class, but you guys haven't learned, is paper. Since it ends in a consonant, you have to add ES. They don't say papels, they say papeles. So then let's look at the sentences up above and decide if we need to add el, la, los, or las to each of those sentences. Let's do the second one first because it seems to be easier. For como es blank pizza, I'm asking how is the pizza, or what is it like? How's the pizza? And so since it ends in an A, it makes it feminine. It does not have an S on the end, so it's not plural. So we're going to use la to complete the sentence. On the other hand, profesores is plural. So we know we're using los or las because it ends in an S. Well, what we had done is we added ES to the end of profesor. So one teacher that's a profesor is a guy teacher. Okay, so we know this word is masculine and plural. So we're going to pick los before it. It'll be como son los profesores. So what I want you guys to do is go ahead and flip your paper over, because there's other reasons that you're going to use masculine or feminine. There's a couple, as you see on the masculine side. It says that things that end in O are masculine, but if it happens to be the word mano or radio, it's going to be la. And then there's some other things that we've already learned about that's going to make, that's going to have masculine words, such as lunes, are days of the week. Lunes, martes, miércoles, they're all el. If you're talking about just one day of the week, on Monday, it'll be el lunes. But since that ends in an S, you can't just add es to the end. It's not gonna be luneses to say like on Mondays. So they'll change it. And el lunes is for one Monday. Los lunes for when it's more than one Monday. So if you do things every Monday, it's los lunes. And then the interesting thing is down here where it says loner, it's about halfway down. Things that end in L-O-N-E-R or S are usually masculine. And I have an example of each one. Papel, chico, cinturón, volante, olor, and viras. They all end in either L-O-N-E-O-R or S, so loners. Those are masculine. Feminine, things tend to end in an A, are feminine words. These are some that break the rules up top, like el sofá, el día, el programa, el mapa, and el planeta. I put programa on there. It says griego in parentheses because it's a Greek word. Greek words that end in M-A are going to be feminine, such as el programa. So if you see any that end in M-A and they're Greek, they're going to be feminine. Down here you'll see that profesor and profesora are both listed, just because you added A for feminine. But if you look, dentista, which is a cognate, it means dentist. It's the same for guys and girls. So to tell if it's a guy dentist or a girl dentist, if it's a guy, you say el dentista, but if it's a girl, you say la dentista. And then down here, I have some things that end in certain letters, so you know that they have to be feminine. If it ends in AD, like libertad, which is liberty, it's going to be feminine. UD, like salud, remember when people say that? Then we say salud in class. Means like, we say that for bless you, because it literally means health. Things that end in EA, easy, like base, okay, your little fishy friend, okay, is going to be feminine. Things that end in CION, like nación, which means nation. IS, like decis, and costumbre, a custom, UMBRE, so it's feminine. So what you guys will do next is you guys are going to try what's on the back, and see if you're confused. Remember, you can't always rely on the O or A. Make sure you're checking the other side.